Come on in the room. Come on in the room. We've been waiting on you. Come on in this room.
Yeah, you know what it means when Wanda come through with that come on in the room, you know what time it is. That's the time. We ready for you. We want you to come on in, sit down, chat with us, talk to us, and let us talk to you. We feel like talking today.
Yes, we do.
I know it's so much to talk about, and we can't get it all in, but we're gonna try to give you enough just so we can whet your thirst.
Yeah.
Did you got anything you want to say to them today?
I just want to say I hope everybody has had a blessed day. I hope everybody is feeling joyful. And if you're not, pull your joy down. Pull it down because it's a great day to smile, right?
I hear you, girl.
Yeah, let's pull that joy down. Let's have a good time tonight.
You know, that's a good thing. They said, whatever you got, give it to me because I might need it.
Yeah.
And one of them came in with the joy. She pulling it down and just helped me to pull mine down, just like you. I was sitting up there, and there's so much stuff that I done heard this past week, and I said best way for me to get it out is to come and share it on the podcast. And so I got somebody to share it with. And so we just want to jump right in.
Okay.
Is that all right with you?
That's okay. That's
'Cause
okay.
you know I can't do nothing by myself. I have to make sure it's okay with Wanda. Wanda is our what you call her intellectual. She's smart. She's a teacher. I tell her make sure she say all the right words, dot all the I's, and cross all the T's. Because you know I don't say stuff right. I use wrong language. I know it. I understand. I'm honest. But one thing about it, I told her, I said, but they know what I'm talking about. Don't worry about it if I don't.
Because you the brains behind the business.
Don't never ever just worry about it. Just long as you know what I'm talking about. I can still say this, that, ain't, and is. One of the things that I was talking with somebody, and it blessed me because I got excited. And then whatever you have a passion for, you can draw people's in if you got the passion for it. And I was telling them that no matter what it is, nothing can be more important if you don't value what you have.
That's right.
Because it says if you want to value it, the valuer won't know the value until they know what is valued. I had a friend and they cleaned out a basement. When they cleaned out the basement, there was a lot of paintings in there. And because there was a lot of paint in there and they were just cleaning it out, they was throwing it away, giving it away, didn't know what to do with it. And they come to find out that the paintings was worth thousands of dollars.
Wow.
And I told them the problem is because he didn't know their value. Nothing is valued until the valuer know the value. What do you value? What makes you know? I was talking to her and I said, it's a thing where there was a woman in the Bible and she lost a coin. She swept diligently trying to find that one coin. She cleaned the house from top to bottom. And after she got through sweeping it, she finally found it. When she found it, she called her friends and her neighbors and everybody over. She said, I want you to come and celebrate with me. I done found my coin. What is valuable enough to you that you'll search for it? You'll make sacrifice for it. You'll give up for it. You'll pay for it. You will do what it takes just so that you can know that you can get it back. As I was talking with my granddaughter, I said, what do you value that is that important, that is your treasure, that you would fight for it? And she said, I know what yours is. She says family. I said, you hit that on the head. I value family. I value what God has put in my life. I value what he has given me. That's why I don't mind fighting for it. That's why I don't mind giving for it. That's why I don't mind forgiving for it. That's why I don't mind going when I don't feel like going, talking when I don't feel like talking, and loving when they don't even want to love me back, because I value it. And I value it to the point that no matter how you treat me, I value the family that God has given me. So I just want to know, what do you value? What will you give up the right for the wrong for? What would you go a mile for? What would you speak about even when it hurting you to speak? Go when you don't even feel like going. Because trust me, when you value it, you'll sweep until you find it. You'll clean until you get it. And then you'll call some people's over. I want you to celebrate because I got it. So I want you to know, Know what you value, because until you know what is value, and don't nobody value the same thing. So don't you get mad with me when I don't value Trump and politics, and don't get mad with me. I know what I value. Know what you value. And hopefully it's something that you don't mind fighting for. Wonder.
That's good. I'm all intrigued. That's really good.
Wanda's like my big fan. She pumps me up. Even when I be like, I know I ain't all do all that, but Wanda have you feel like, girl, look, I maybe can just go on a little while longer. She be having you pumped up, and you be like somebody like, girl, sit yourself down.
No, you did good. I value family too, but I value my integrity a lot. I value family, but I value my integrity and I value my respect. I'm gonna go after that. I'm me being respectful to someone else, not so much as they got to be as respectful to me. I value being respected, but I have to show I got integrity on things, and certain things I'm just not gonna do just because it looks good, just because it sounds good, just because you want to encourage me to do it. I'm not gonna do it. I have a lot of integrity, and my spirituality is another thing that I value. I value my spirituality because it's truth, and because I love God. I know where I come from. I know where He's brought me and my family from. That's why I can value my family so much, because I know where He's brought us from and how low we've been and how high He's brought it, and we just getting higher together. But we have to stay true. We have to keep our integrity, and we have to have respect for what He's given us. We can't take it for granted. So all those things I do value, and because I have to ponder on that while you was talking. Like, I value my family, but I value them knowing that if they don't see nothing else in me, they know I got respect. They got respect for me, yeah, and they know that I'm a woman of integrity and honesty. So, if you don't know anything about me, in love, and they know I love, so I value those things in me, and I'm not gonna let nobody take that from me. I'm not gonna let nobody make me feel like, um, I gotta lie to be your friend. I gotta lie to love you, or you to love me, or I gotta take down from who I am. My husband always tell me. He said the one thing that I love about you is you're genuine. He said you're genuine. That's what drew me to you. Your generosity, or whatever he said. But he said that's what drew him to me, and I appreciate that. It was seen. I was seen. Hey, Sister Bobby. She said, yes, we have to value what we have. I value myself, God, family, and special friends like me. And my garden. She got a beautiful garden.
Oh wow,
beautiful garden.
I know that's right, and all of those things it's good for to hear it, because sometimes people think stuff but they don't hear it. We have to put stuff in an atmosphere. Just say put it in the opening, put it in the atmosphere. Let somebody know. I mean, I think that sometimes we hold too much, and and we too private, and we don't want nobody to know that side of us. And people, when they love you, they'll love all the sides.
Sides.
I love it. Sometimes they'll be like, it get on my nerve, but I still love you. And I'm like that, and I agree with you. I think the one thing that when people is love you, they'll know you, and they'll know your integrity, and they'll know what you stand for, and stuff that lines you just ain't gonna cross.
Right.
They would know when they know you. And as long as I've known you, you always true to who you are. I was talking to and we can stay on that value, because I want to, and because how do you value your phone? If you left it at home, would you go back and get it?
It depends on where I'm going. If I'm in a car with somebody who has a phone that know the people that I know, the majority of them, I leave it. But if I'm going out somewhere by myself, yeah, I'm gonna turn around, be late. I'm going to get it. Yeah, I'm going to get the phone. And it's strange you say that, because years ago we didn't have phones. We had to get that nickel, or that dime or that quarter, because it went up to a quarter. Yeah, but now, depending on where I'm going, if I'm by myself, I'm going back to get the phone.
And I didn't. Whenever these questions are, sometimes I've already attached them to somebody else. I asked some ladies at work, and I said, Would you turn around to go get your phone? The young lady said, without a doubt, I'm
Oh,
gonna be late. I'm going to get my phone. I'm lost without my phone.
oh,
And
wow.
I'm gonna just, and even if I said, well, what about if they fire you? This is the last time you can do that, and they're gonna fire you. She said, they just gonna fire me because I can't get my phone. I
Oh,
said,
and the
you,
bill going off.
well, you know what? When the reason that question came up, because now everywhere you look, people is on the phone. They're walking down the streets. They're in elevators. They can't even get grocery. They can't even shop for some shoes. The phone is like, and you better believe they filming everything.
They are.
So phones took so much dominancy in life that nobody, I mean, even babies got them.
They do.
I mean, so it's like I left mine at home. That's how we got to the question. I left mine at home. I got to work, and the girl wanted to know was I going to lunch, but she couldn't reach me. So she called me and she said, "Why you ain't answering your phone?" I said, "I left it at home." She said, "You lost your mind? Don't nobody leave their phones at home?" I said, "Well,"
You work with a phone.
I told him, I said, "I didn't even think nothing of it. You think I'm gonna go back and turn around, go back up some stairs with my knees hurting?
No.
No, I couldn't. I ain't finna do that. I get it when I get back home.
Yeah.
I don't value it like that. I don't value
Now,
phones like that.
now, if I'm working at work, I'm working near a phone. I would probably call my husband, my daughter, or somebody and
Tell me
say,
to bring it.
no, I'll say that I left it at home. So reach me at this number.
Okay.
You can reach me at this number. But other than that, it's only when I'm out for a day by myself or something like that. But other than that, because you know what, we put too much emphasis on that telephone. We make it our gods
It
and
is.
stuff.
It is.
We make it our gods, and you working by phone, so that should be easy.
I told him, I said, you know what? I make a point now of doing less with the phone because I see how command it is and how it's controlling. So I make a point to carry it at least at less as I can. But I noticed that most of the people I talk to that said they ain't living without their phone, they were young.
Yeah. And then another thing too, I try to do is I got a phone book. Now I need to start carrying it with me because it is really hard to keep up with numbers. If I don't call you every day, I don't know your number. Even my kids, sometimes I'll be like, "What's that number?" Yeah, 3-1, and I'm like, "Oh my God, I need to remember numbers." That kept us on our toes, remembering numbers.
It did. I promise you. And I even look at that now because I used to, and see them. That's why things come back to get you. Because I remember when I used to be at work and I asked the people, so I was like, "What's your daughter's phone number?" And they said, "I don't know."
Yeah.
I would look at them strange and I said, "You don't even know your daughter's phone number?" Now I don't know I don't know nobody's number. I said, come back and hunt you. I said, now I don't know nobody's number about her. If I don't pull a number up on the phone, and that's bad because if you ain't got your phone and you don't know their number, I have to call some number that I know. What's that number? Because I don't know their numbers.
That's how.
So it's crazy. I mean, it have took so importance in our life.
Thank
that
you.
phones is.
Thank you, Miss Bobby. I love you too. She said, Miss V, I sincerely value Miss Wanda. Has never changed with me, great friend and beautiful personality. As her husband said, she is genuine. Love you. Thank you. Amen.
Now she just gave all that about you.
She's so sweet. I love her. She's genuine too. She wants them to know the true me.
She wants the whole world to know that Miss Wanda is all that and some.
She's so sweet.
That is so sweet. Everybody needs somebody like that in their life that they can speak to them and know that it's genuine and it's real. But I think that the young people is more gravitated to the phones than the older people's. Older people's was like
they're getting there though. The old people. I remember older people used to say, "I don't know what to do with this thing. I'm not gonna be I'm not gonna be texting. I'm not gonna be doing now. I'll be sitting them scrolling like this. They don't got the hang of it."
Yeah, I mean, it's like it's taking over so much. You're gonna have to either get on the program or you're gonna be lost. With this technology and stuff, you ain't got a lot of choices. You either gonna get with it or get left behind.
Yeah.
And so I just try to do enough to just keep me afloat, not enough to just get caught up in it. I see Justine is on the line. It's just good every night. 20 trying to tell me to be better at this, and I'm working on it. I promise you, I'm getting better. I'm even trying to look at some of this stuff and answer them, because I
That's
be finding
good.
I be answering, and I ain't even commenting on them. I'm like, I don't even know where the comment went. I don't even know.
Yeah, it's
But
good. I got
one of the things that we gonna hit this and we gonna quit it, because I don't want to spend a lot of time on it. But how do you feel about these graduate these proms? Do you think they're doing too much now, or you figure
if they can afford it.
they the value of these proms? Do you think that they took the value too much, or you think they're overdoing it, or you think that what?
Well, with the proms, I think it's a good thing for the kids to go on the prom, have fun. But sometimes we put more money in the prom than we do the graduation. Did they get all their credits yet? You can go on the prom and still don't graduate. I know I did it. So you can go on that prom. So I just feel like it's an accomplishment. It is a beautiful thing. But sometimes, yeah, I do think we overdo it. We're proud of our children and we want them to do their best. But I don't think you have to put your house up for somebody to go on the prom and get the Lamborghini. I see somebody with horses, these big Lamborghinis, and you driving a Pinto. You can't even get back and forth to work hardly, but you done save all this money for graduation, and now it's college. You're gonna need extra funds for college, and I'm just so grateful that when my daughter graduated, I didn't have to do all of that, or they wasn't expecting all of that, because I needed to get their college things together and pay for college. So yeah, once you get through paying this $1 million for the prom, then you got to take out a student loan. It to me is overdoing sometimes. I mean, we should be proud of our kids. We should want to go all out, but you can go all out without going all out, without spending, without breaking the bank.
Yeah.
And sometimes I just think it's a lot. And I'm very proud of the people that's graduating. I'm just glad I don't have to do it no more.
Me too. I told you of mine. If I had some in this day and time, I would just drop them off. I ain't no sense in us paying none of that. I just drop you off, and then just call me when you're ready to leave. I come back and get you.
I did that for my oldest son. He went to all these proms with everybody else. And I said, no, this is the prom you going on. This is one I paid for. Because I worked hard to get you to graduate. I took him in my sister's car, got him his suit, rented it. He went to the prom, and I went back and got him.
See?
That's what I did. And my daughter, I was blessed when my daughter graduated, maybe because it's so many years ago that 250 bought her the shoes, the purse, and then she designed her own dress, and the lady made it for us for $250. Everything came in a package. They was good back then.
I know it, but I guarantee you, she remembers that because it was it was so into what in our own handwork. And it'd be more meaningful and it'd be more special. I do too. I think that sometime, and I ain't got any kids that's doing college graduation, none of that. But I do think that we emphasize this when they're so much greater.
Yes.
You want to celebrate because every plateau ought to be celebrated.
Yeah.
It ought to be a time of a celebration. But you ought not want to invest so much in this celebration that you miss out on the next one.
Yeah, because it's just like they put a lot of money into preschool graduation. Don't you know that's 8 more years to 8th grade graduation? Then you put all the money in 8th grade graduation, they drop out in sophomore year. You want to see all of their accomplishments. So I think like breaking the bank, I'm going all out. You done made a major milestone in your life. And guess what? You about to get this job that's going to pay back everything that I spent already. It's, to me, I look at college as more of a guarantee. It really isn't, but I look at it as more of a guarantee. Yeah. So I want to push you to that final level, to that next level, master's, doctorate, whatever it takes.
But I noticed the other day, I seen some people that was getting their masters, and there was very little celebration. I said, then I seen them coming out of high school and they got horses and carriages. And I'm like, somewhere in this we
got it twisted.
We got it twisted. We got it so twisted. It's so much stuff I want to talk about. But before we leave, I want to touch on a couple of things. One of them is, Chicago is doing this audience for the curfew. And They was asking, do you think the curfew is necessary? The age on the curfew, the penalty for the curfew, and all of those things. So I want us to just touch bases just a little bit on what we think about the curfew.
Okay, y'all, this is Miss Vee and The Crew, and we're getting ready to talk about curfew. So if you want to tap in on it and have something to say, put your comments in the chat or either give us a call at 708-223-8953. That's 708-223-8953. Give us a call. We miss Tempest for doing this. Come on back, Temp.
I agree.
Okay.
She kept us on our toes.
Yes. But with the teen, with the curfew for the teens and everything, and they trying to put the curfew in there for the teen takeover. Because downtown, they done destroyed downtown. That used to be the place to go at all times. And I believe there should be a curfew. I believe that it would kind of help curb it, or it'll even put the parents on their toes with their children, knowing where they at. Because if you know that your child but they said at a certain age is 8 o'clock. I don't see these 15, 16-year-olds making it in. I really don't. But I feel like we do need some type of curfew or some kind of time limit for them to be out, because they're taking over, and 9 to 10 years olds are out very late. Very late. Where is your child at? How can your child be out this late? So, but our mayor, I read that our mayor said he don't agree with it, that we don't really need that. We need something. If it's not a curfew, we need something, some guards, something to get our kids back in order. We need to reestablish whoopings, the belt. We need to put that back in. I'm serious. When they stop giving the parents authority over their kids, they tied their hands. I feel like they tied their hand. Well, I ain't never stopped, but the ones who did stop, you tied their hands. All that time out, and you can ask me all these questions, and you can help me control my house. It's got the streets, got them in the streets.
Yeah.
When it's got them, yeah. I believe we need something.
But ain't nothing wrong with the curfew. And I remember the time when the TV used to put a little notice on it to help you to know that it was time for your children to come in.
Buzz.
Yeah, they'll send that line. Ain't nothing on TV, just a line. Do you know that where your children are? And honestly, you laughed at that then, but it helped you.
It helped.
It helped you to remind you. You know what? It's time for your kids to be at home.
Yeah.
And you could look out inside, and if they wasn't sitting on the porch, you knew something was a problem. So that lightning came on, and you need to be on the porch. Now, ain't no porches.
Ain't no porches.
They is everywhere. And I do agree they need curfew, but when they say they're coming up with this snap curfew. And with the snap curfews, they can shut an area down at any time, at any moment, in any place that they want to.
If they have a large crowd of teens, okay.
But now, when you think about that, and I'm an advocate of getting things in order too. But what about these nice kids that want to go to that place? The nice children that they trying to do teens take over.
The weed and Terry is growing together. We got to separate them at some point, but not now. Because eventually they're not gonna be nice as they stay with some of the kids.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. Because obviously who this target is for.
Yeah.
So it's like you targeting a set. I'm gonna say, is this the only answer? Now I know it's got to be something done. I already know that, but maybe, like he said, well, we may give us some jobs. Maybe we can do. Yeah, but you're talking about in the daytime.
Yeah, they're getting jobs. They're not taking them. They want to stay home and go to sleep. I'm witnessing this. They don't want them. Or they say they can't go to this neighborhood, but you in the neighborhood when you're not supposed to be in the neighborhood. You see what I'm saying? So we can't, there's no balance here. We can't say, we're gonna get you some jobs and you don't take them, or we're gonna do the curfew and you feel like we're wrong. What do you want us to do? How can we help you help your kids to do better? The kids don't want them. The parents can't push them. They don't have authority over their kids. If they had authority over their children, they wouldn't be out there all the time. And I'm not saying all parents. Then let's make that clear, because there's some parents who got authority, but some kids are very sneaky. and they would go out. Like I said,
You was one of them.
I wasn't one of them, but I had one of them. I ain't had to get but one whooping. That's all she had to do. I was in there doing that freaky. Yeah. Mom can't got me out of there. She had to come get me, but one time I wasn't coming no more. I ain't like getting no whoopings.
But you know, I do agree with the curfew. There's nothing wrong with that because there ought to be some curfew period. Yeah. And I think they say now the curfew is 10 o'clock. And if you under 17, I mean under 18.
That's not bad. They going to school.
Yeah, that's not bad. But when you put this snap curfew where you targeting certain spots and because I noticed a spot right off the bat over here in the west side. That park closes whenever they feel like closing it.
So that should be a snap. I don't think every place should be a snap, but I know that where the flood is and like even downtown Buckingham Fountain, that should be a snap. That should be a snap because that's where the kids go. It shouldn't be certain areas, the heaviest crime areas. It should be snap there. To me, snap curfews, because it's not only that you're trying to discipline the kids, you're trying to protect them. So many of them are killing each other and being shot just innocent. The good kids are being shot, and the ones who doing the shooting is going free because ain't nobody telling on them. So there should be some little snap areas where they just pop up and say, no, this crowd don't look right. Because why keep driving past that same crowd and now you got to come back and somebody laid out in the park or somebody dead or some mothers looking for their child overnight. I ain't never seen so many missing children. The milk cartons didn't have these many missing children.
That's true.
It's so we need those type of things, those snap things. We need something in place right now that's gonna curb it.
And they say it's because the weather is getting better, and it's gonna escalate, and they want to put something in place before it comes to that.
Yeah,
and
just give it a chance or something.
Yeah,
see if it help us at any point.
But you just have a problem when you feel like you targeting just because everybody ain't bad. Everybody is don't deserve it.
We in the crowd. We in a group. If we all in the club, they ain't gonna come and just put you out. They're gonna put me out too. We got a certain amount of hours that we got to be. They say 2:00 we close. We there 2:30. They say not just you, all of us got to go, and I can be the good one. You be the bad one. But we all in there together.
We all got to go. I know. Well, I'm just saying that it's so many things that the poor young. The one that's trying to do right, want to do right, is caught in the middle of this chaos.
Yeah, and I hate that. I hate that for them. Good kids, we want to go downtown, just walk around, be nice kids, or they want to walk on their own block, and they can't even walk on their own block. And I don't feel like our children of our color should be targeted. I don't feel like we should be targeted, but I feel like as a group, we should do better. It used to be a time that you or me can talk to somebody else's children and say, let's do better. Let's talk, where the mother don't have, or the father don't have to be worrying so much. We can't even talk to our teens on the streets because they're so angry and stuff. And when you're doing these kind of things, make sure that you have some kind of place for them to go with to communicate their problem. Why are you so angry? Why is it that you got to pick up a gun? What is going on? There's something in the air. Something they eating. All this new food on TikTok. Something they eating. It's something wrong.
Something that's wrong with it. Yeah. I mean, it's getting bad. I mean, you trying that. Well, one of the young guys said today, anybody trying to raise kids in this time, I'm praying for them really hard.
Yes.
Because trying to raise kids now has got to be hard.
It got to be. And I tip my hat to parents because this is a hard job. It's hard. And then most of the time I hear the parents say, I don't want my child raised like I was, so I'm trying to give them everything that they want. That's a mistake.
That is. I said it all the time. That is where we messed up.
Mm-hmm.
And we all done said it, but we didn't know what we were doing. We was creating monsters.
Yeah.
Because you said, I don't want you. No, ain't nothing wrong with the way you came up.
Mm-mm.
You learn respect. You learn how to treat people. You learn how to talk to people. You learn how to treat seniors. Now they don't respect nobody.
No, at all.
They don't have no value for nothing. No value for family. No value for parents. Their parents is being locked in their own house.
Yeah.
They got their own doors. They go in their bedroom. They lock it in the door.
They lock it in there.
They locking the door behind them because like, why I gotta lock the door in my own house?
Yep.
Yeah, but
terrified of your
yeah,
own
because I don't want
child.
to have to kill nobody coming through that door.
Yeah, terrified of your own child, and it's just sad.
But it's the truth.
It's sad, and so while we're helping the kids and we're giving them SNAP curfews and stuff, what can we do to help the parents as well, to build them up, to encourage them to be parents, to encourage them to say you're not in this alone, because we got to help both if we want to curb the crime. It's not just the kids, we got to help both of them. They used to have these little parent meetings at school and parent clubs where parents can get together and talk and look out for each other, and I think all of that diminished. All they doing is standing out there fighting for more money and all that stuff, but fight for parent unity. You know what I'm saying? The strength to encourage them. I don't know. It's just something else that has to be done. Hey, Auntie Betty. That's my auntie watching from Mississippi. I love it.
Yeah, we got to do something, and we got to do something better. I don't know. I remember when we were coming up, we had PTA and the local school council and all that stuff. I don't know if they still have all that. It'd been many, many years ago. So it'd been over, it's been over 30, 40 years.
Yeah.
But they had it then. And, you could come in, and we had some of these teachers. Because I remember one time my son was doing something bad, and they came in and they said, Ms. Benson, you here, and your son acting up. What is the problem? I said, that didn't help the situation none for you to tell me that. But I mean, they said, yeah, but you here, and he don't care about you being here. And one of the men came up, one of the guys came up, one of the teachers came up. He leaned over to me, said, Miss Benson, I'll give a room and I'll get you a belt. Do you want me to do that? I said, yeah, give me that. Let me see what that might do. It might help. I said, give me that.
Yeah.
So now they can't do all that stuff now.
They do have local school council, but they don't have the same training that they used to have for the parents, in my opinion, where the parents will get hands on, where the parents were able to freely speak of what's going on in their home without you calling DCFS on them, without you calling the police on them, without you threatening to take their children. They're afraid to speak up of what's going on. They don't want their kids gone. They just want help. And so they're afraid. And so we need something else better for them.
I agree. We got to do better. I think you had one of the podcasts that said that we got to do better.
We do.
And it has to start. And I'm a firm believer. It got to start in the home.
It does.
If they say it starts at home and then it spreads. So it's got to first start in the home, and take your home back. Take your power back. That's right. Take, do whatever it takes. And you say, no, find out when you lost it, take it back.
Yep.
Take it back. Oh, I'm a single parent and I can't do it all. Yeah, well, a whole lot of singers out here. Because I remember when I went to a conference, and the woman, she was a heavy woman, and she went in there and she said, baby, I bust every door down in my house. We gonna get it right here. And I totally agree.
Yeah. Sometimes
you just got to do what you got to do. You got to take it back. I know we got some tough subjects today, and sometimes, and don't blame me, because some of these subjects, somebody sends to me and said, I want you to know what you feel about this and what would you think on this. And so a lot of this stuff is not me. I mean, I can talk about anything, but some of this stuff, they bring it to me. And I tell them, I said, well, if they talk about me, it's just know they was talking about you. Somebody sent me a question, and she said, I'm dealing with a situation and I want to know, can I turn a hoe into a husband or into a wife? She said, I'm having some problem with that situation. And she said, Ms. V, I want to know, is it possible that I can turn this hoe to a husband or the hoe to a wife? And I said, all right, I'm going to try to answer you on the podcast. I'm going to try to tackle it. I wonder.
Well, hey, you know, I get outspoken sometimes. I be saying a little bit too much, but anywho.
What'd you say? I give him too much. I know. And me too. I don't ever get, when the minute I get off the podcast, my phone rings. Now, you know you ain't had no business saying that. You know you shouldn't have done that. And I'm like, but I just be talking. Yeah. Some of the stuff I say, some stuff I do joking and have fun and be laughing. And some of that stuff, I be serious.
Yeah, I know, right?
I be serious. So, I mean, hey, and I don't think that, and I think what our problem is sometimes is we hold back and we don't want to say the stuff. Sometimes the stuff needs to be said and it needs to come from the right source.
Well,
the right source? Did I get it? Come on, you got all these values, integrity.
I got integrity.
Come on.
But you know what? The fact that they trying to get married is a good thing. Everybody can change. Everybody can change. Nobody has to say the same. If you ever been promiscuous in your life, you probably was a hoe. I'm just gonna say it like that. Lord, forgive me. Forgive me. In the name of Jesus. But that's the way it is. Lord, forgive me. But if you was promiscuous at one time in your life, young, coming up or whatever, yeah, it's a possibility. But when you start to change, somebody evidently you see something in them that you even consider marrying them. So I feel like you ain't gonna change them into nothing that they already ain't. But you can show them a different way of living.
But don't you think that once you whatever you is, you will try to change and you will do better, but you're gonna eventually revert back?
I don't think so, because now you don't put
sometimes it's in you.
Yeah, and now you don't
come out of you.
Then you ain't gonna get married like that either. You just ask for it.
I'm just saying, I'm just trying to, just piece some stuff together, because sometimes and a lot of stuff is in the word. Because you remember this guy was married to one, and he loved her, and he took her off the block and said, "Come on, baby, I love you.
And the Song of Solomon."
And then he said, he got in there. She went right back. Yeah, he had to go back and get her again. And he went right back because it was never out. Sometimes if just because you want them to change from being a hoe to whatever, that sounded rough, didn't it?
That's what I said when I said it. I was like, oh my God. I'm repeating what I hear. Lord, don't forgive me.
Maybe that's a bad word.
Yeah.
Maybe
prostitute. Because that's a woo, Lord.
But you remember there's a difference between a prostitute and a whore.
Is it?
Oh, yeah.
Well, explain. Because I might not have been there one day.
Now you making me talk like I'm real professional on this. Like I might have been one of them. You make it sound like, oh, you really know. So like I might have been I might have had some little experience, but I've never had no experience.
Okay,
but you said you might have been one and didn't know you was one. But they say.
Let me take notes. What's the difference now?
Ain't no need you taking no note from what? Ain't no need you taking no note from me. I may be wrong too. I'm just saying you got a different name. It's got to be different because they said. Now this is what they say.
What they say?
They say.
What did they say?
Don't quote me on Miss V. Yeah,
what they say.
But this is what they say. The people say that a hoe is a person that just do it and don't have nothing, no purpose in it. You ain't got to give me nothing. I just love doing it.
Oh, I ain't never been there.
A prostitute is you got to pay to get it. That's what they say.
Okay. So the prostitute got value.
So which one was you? Yeah, so that's what they say. That they got so many big names and stuff now. But seriously, I do think, and this is all honesty, that I don't care what you is. There's always room for a change.
That's it.
Because they used to say back in the old days. I know.
I'm just laughing at you. Go ahead.
I know. I'm saying I'm crazy, but it says back in the day, it says that's somebody pour in that doesn't change.
Oh, wow.
And see, and and you know, and everything I do, I be thinking about how it is when the young man went out. And he wanted everything because he did all that kind of living and just doing all that crazy stuff. But then when he got right down, he thought about it and he came to himself.
Yeah.
And he said, look, wait a minute, what am I doing? I got a home, a father. I got servants, and I'm sitting up here finna eat what the pigs eat.
Yeah.
Sometimes you will come to yourself if you know you in a watering hole. You know you at a trough. You know where your life is, and you know what you've been. Sometimes you come to yourself and you know it's bigger than me.
That's right.
I'm better than this. I deserve better than this. I want more than this. And you has to, but that change has to come. Not from because you want to marry me. It got to come from
it's already in you.
Already inside of you.
Yeah.
Now, the man maybe never would have changed if he didn't realize what he had. I had some values. I had a father. I had a good life. So if you never have experienced that, it might take a little longer.
You don't know your worth.
You don't know your worth. You don't know your worth. But at some point, if you had already had some type of value, something you valued, something that meant something to you, something that you could hold to, it sometimes they say if it go away, you'll get it back.
Yeah.
But just make sure you had it. You had it. I mean, that's why, you know, I don't never ever, I wished I could have, it's some stuff I wished I had experienced before I really got married. But I didn't. And then before I know it, it's too late. You know, you said, you know, Maya Angelou said something. She said, you want to live a life that when you look back at it, you ask yourself, did I really do that? Did I really do that? Because now you can relive it twice.
Yeah.
You know, and some things in life is so good. You say, I just wish I could have did it twice. It was just that good. Sometimes I look at my life and I'm like, girl, you had such a boring. You so pitiful.
Oh.
If a man did try to talk to me now, I'd be so boring. He'll be like, you don't know how to do. You don't know do this. You can't do this. You don't know how to do that. No. Do you ever try? No. You ever went there? No. He ain't gonna want it. I'm too boring. I'm too boring.
So if you can't change a prostitute to a housewife, how can you change a board? Can you change a board to?
Nah, I got you now. Now you want to know? Well, can you change the boring to a hoe? No, you did.
I was gonna say to spicy. I changed you to spicy.
No, you were trying to fix it up. I know. I figured. I caught you, baby. You know, you
trying to say spicy.
You ain't gonna get away with too much stuff because I caught you ahead of time.
I'm trying to say, can you?
I already know if you can't go from one, can you go to the other?
Can he train you? Can he turn you around?
Can you turn me around? I don't know. They said sometimes you can get it so good you can be in the alley with a flashlight looking for it.
Nothing that good. Oh, that's too good for me.
I know, right?
Oh my God, that's that psycho stuff, honey.
You know that I'm telling you, it's some crazy stuff out here. And you know, and now you just get too old to try to. Ain't no need of you trying to think.
Ain't no more chandeliers and all that.
You said I wished I wished I had that memory of when I had that memory of back in the day. Oh girl, I could swing from 2 or 3 chandeliers in one night. You know, I wish I can't see it. Can't see it. Them chandelier days is over. Ain't no more chandelier. Ain't no chandelier.
Well, we was poor. We had none.
I ain't need them. But I know that it's there. Laughter is good, and trust me, we actually some good ladies. We maybe talk bad, but we got some good ladies. When we go home, we good.
We're good. We're real good.
We're some real good ladies.
But back to your question, I just believe that you can't change anyone. They have to want to change. It has to be in them to change. You can marry them and hope for the best and pray and believe God for the change, but it has to be a desire within you to want to change.
Amen. I agree. But I do on to piggyback off of that, I believe that there is, and I believe this, and
okay, come on.
You can write this down.
Let me write this down, Miss Boyd. I got my pen. I got my pen on the pad.
I'm just joking now, but I do believe that there are some, and especially when it comes to women's, I believe there's some women that'll make you want to change. It'll make.
Man,
Oh yeah, it's some women's, and I believe that because I know that when because I tell you all the time that when Adam saw Eve, he looked at her and he was like, man.
Come to whatever she say.
Whatever you tell me to do, whatever you tell me to eat, whatever you tell me, I'm gonna do. So I really believe that women have that power. It's just that how do you use it? How are you using what you've got? You got it. Now you just got to know how to use it. Because that's our problem. You can have it and don't know the value.
Wait, Marcus said something over there.
Oh God. Don't Marcus.
What did he say?
I don't know, but it goes back. Remember, I always told you everything is going.
You cannot. He said you can't change anybody.
Oh, now that's what he said.
Yeah, that's what Mark said. Mark, didn't you just say that?
Yeah, the thing is, it's
you have to. She said you have to change you.
I totally agree with that, but on in essence to that, you can put into a mind of a man that he would want it. You can't change him, but you can make him want to change. And that's what I'm talking about. You can't make him change as far as, you know what I'm saying, I'm going to go up here and I'm going to change. No, but what he see in you and what he want in you, it'll make him, that's probably Mark. He ain't satisfied just talking. Now he want to put it in action. But I believe it. I believe there are peoples that you can
hit this. Hit the wrong thing. Wait a minute now, I gotta do it right.
No, you did it right.
I did. Okay. Hello?
How you doing? This is Marcus. I just want to call in.
I tell you.
Can you change them around, Marcus?
No, you can't. You shouldn't, and you can't, and you shouldn't want to change anybody. Because if you change somebody, that means they're no longer them. The person in which you have to change is you.
But he's looking for a housewife.
No, but that means you shouldn't be with him then.
No,
because if you change a person, that means you only changing them to fit whatever it is you want them to be in that particular moment. You have to change you.
I agree.
What is it about you that?
So I do agree with you, and I'm not doubting that. I do think that the change I can tell you the change, it don't mean you a change, but a woman has the power that the man would want to change. He would want to be a better man. You know what I'm saying? Because he maybe just got some shortcomings that he never even thought they was bad, or he never thought. Yeah, he may have some shortcomings. Oh, one of your man done really got really. You done got in the alley and you can't come back. I know. I just said shortcoming, then you gonna come back short. I mean, what you mean by that?
I'm listening.
But I do what I'm thinking. I agree with you wholeheartedly that the change has to come from within. I believe that. But do you also believe that there are some peoples that you don't mind trying to be better for? You don't mind if you know that this hurting a person, or because see that when you love somebody, it comes with no sorrow. And so if you got sorry and I'm making you sorry, don't you know that it's something inside of you wants to be better? And if that means me, whatever I got, I ain't saying change you, but I'm saying what you see in her make you want to be better. And I don't think that's changing you. I think that's you initiating it. What you think?
If all the work I put in, so if you and I is dating,
but wait, Marcus, you got to know that you're dating a prostitute, though.
No, it ain't a prostitute. It's a hoe.
but that's the thing, and you can't turn one of them into a housewife.
Uh-oh.
You got to change you.
You now you gonna have to be a hoe.
So if I know that's who you are, and I know that's what you are, there's no sense in me trying to change you. I got to change my perspective. I got to change what I'm looking for. Because if I know that's all you got to offer, that's all you got to bring, I got to change. When you go fishing, if you're looking for catfish, you put a certain worm on the hook. If I want bluegills, I put a different bait on the hook. So if I know if you you know what, and if I know that's what you got to give, I got to change my bait.
Oh.
Yeah, well, me and you, we and we can stay on all night debating this because I just believe that there's a change for everybody, and ain't no such thing as you is, because just like you said, just like you a good one, you can change to be a bad one. That's why at the end of the day, God said, I'm going to separate them because you can't do it. So I believe that anybody can change, and I believe that sometimes maybe you never saw a reason to change. Maybe you never had a reason to change. Maybe you never had a woman that you want to change for. Come on, somebody.
But that's the biggest problem right there. Nobody want to change until they got somebody to change for. The person which they're supposed to change for is the one that's staring back in the mirror every day. Because if I do any and everything to change to be with you, when I'm no longer with you, where all that work go?
Oh yeah,
that's true.
Until I change myself, I will leave and be in the same situation every single place I go.
I agree.
Every day we complain about the people we work with, but is it the people we work with or is it you? Because you can go to another job and get the same problem.
I agree. You got to take you wherever you go. I agree with that.
It's I agree with that. It.
And you're not trying to change nobody. If you have some good characters, you ain't. Why would you want to change those? And if you figure those are some good characters, you don't care who the person is. Why would I change it if I don't see nothing wrong with that? Well, only time you gonna ever want to change is when you already know your shortcoming. Like me, I got a lot of work to do. And if I met somebody and they said, baby, you know what? That ought to be something you work on. He can't make me change. But if he's seeing me and he's helping me and I can see it, I ought to want to change. But I mean, I agree. I mean, if you is who you is,
you can't want better for you than you want for yourself.
No, you can't. It's amazing what somebody can see what you can't see. It's some stuff that you can see much clearer because you is on the outside. Sometimes when you're on the inside, you're too close to the mirror. Sometimes somebody have to be on the outside and say, you know what? I don't even know if you realize it. I don't even know if you see it. I don't even know you realize what you said. I don't even realize you know what you did. So sometimes it takes somebody, and prayerfully, it's somebody that loves you enough to be able to tell you. Because some people will tell you stuff and just send you off. And there are some people that's going to tell you something because they want better for you too. Not for themselves, but when I want you, when I want you better, I want you better even for the next woman. You know, some people don't want to fix no man for another woman.
So don't.
I don't care. Because when my assignment with you is over, I don't care who gets you.
Sound good to me. This was good, you guys. Thanks for calling in, Mark.
Mark, you should have been right here with us today. Cause you know what, I got a lot in me to get out on you, boy. Come on, you know if we. I can't wait either.
Well, we're going to set a date. I'm going to come soon. We're going to set a date.
Set that date, boo.
All right. Thank you. Love you too.
Love you, baby.
All right. Good night.
Good night.
Did I turn it off? Oh, I did something.
Oh, Mark, he put something on your mind, don't he?
Yeah.
That young man, that's why I want to just break his neck. He always going to do that.
Don't break his neck. Oh, he got good stuff going on. Hey, Sister Monica. Hey, nephew James. Thank you guys for tuning in.
And I think that's the part that I love about him. He's gonna challenge you. You're not gonna just and I appreciate that, because when you know your value, you ain't nobody just gonna say anything to you.
That's right.
Ain't nobody gonna just treat you any kind of way. No, you got to come right when you step
correct. Yeah.
Because I value and I know my value.
Yeah.
I know who I am and whose I am.
Yeah.
So you're not gonna just do anything, say anything, and I'm accepted. No, baby, it don't work that way. No, you can't do that. And when they know that, they'll be better. And when they get better, I've seen this happen. I've seen people where they was better because of somebody.
Yeah.
They saw and they were like, man, and I know that's right because that's what the words say. I got favor when I got her.
Yeah.
I obtained favor.
He found his good
He
thing.
found a good thing.
Yeah.
And she gonna make you have favor. She gonna make you better.
Mm-hmm.
Find the right one. And then she gonna make you better.
She gonna make you better, and y'all gonna grow better together.
Grow better. Wanda, you put that together. Good girl. We're gonna grow better together. I like that. So find me so we can grow better together.
That's right.
I
She's
know,
waiting
right?
on you.
I know, right?
Yeah.
But it is so good. And I promise you, me and Wanda just sitting there, we could kick this all night. We had some other stuff on the plate, but I promise you, know your value. Know what you're worth. Wonder what you got to tell them, because you just talked about it. You stirred us up. You already talked about that. Walking in your integrity, knowing who you is. Be genuine. Come on.
Yeah. Just know that you are valuable. You are a treasure to be treasured. And don't let nobody take you down. Don't let nobody tell you you're worthless. You are somebody. You are valuable.
Oh, Wanda, that was so nice. I love that. That's what I want you to. That's how we gonna end it tonight. Know your worth, know your value. And it says sometimes you want something that you ain't worthy for. I know that's true too. You know, you want it,
You're
but you
worthy
ain't.
of it.
You know, you want it, but you ain't worthy. But
You're worthy.
it's a work in progress. Work on yourself so that you can be better, and so that when people see you, they see your worth, and they'll try to match your energy, match your love. Because when you show up, the thermostat is set.
Yes.
And so when you show up, everything about you gonna show up too. Show up with your love, show up with your kindness, show up with your compassion, because your compassion is something that deserves action. That's what compassion is. Compassion is when I see it, but I got to do something about it. I don't just be in sympathy. I don't just be empathy. I'm with compassion. Do something when you see it. So move, and when you move, bring that love with you. Bring that compassion, bring that
honesty,
peace with
respect.
you. Bring that honesty, respect, and all those things. Bring that to the table, and it'll show up. Show up in the way you live. Show up in the way you give. Show up in you.
Yes, it will.
It'll show up.
We love y'all.
I love you. I promise you, I needed this tonight.
Yeah.
Because now I'm leaving here with a vessel that's full.
Ha!
Have a good night, y'all.
Have a good night. We
Be
love
blessed.
y'all.
Love
Thanks
you.
for tuning in.